Hello, wonderful leaders. I want to take a moment just to say thanks. Thanks to you for always giving so much of yourselves for the young people in our church. As a church, we're moving into an exciting time with the new worship center, the new worship schedule. We continue to value having a diverse group of caring adults that are shepherding and guiding our young people. We also value the time of intentional Bible study that we have in Route 56 and I-78, and that we believe this teaching is relevant to build a solid Christian worldview for all the young people that we get the privilege to minister to. Well, this is obviously allowing us to do some shifts in student ministry, and I want to give you a little heads up to what our new program will look like. So, starting on March 26th, the church will be moving to our new worship times, 8:30, 9, 10, and 11. You might have already heard about this, of course. Route 56, I-78, and high school ministry will all meet during the 10 to 11 o'clock hour. The way this looks practically is that we're going to do our program from 10:15 to 11 and really tighten up what we do. The program is really going to look very similar to the way we do it now. We're just going to condense it in a couple of areas. So a big thing I want you to know is that it's been pretty successful having Route 56 and I-78 together the last few weeks during the remodel phase. Well, we're going to continue to do this through the summer. The biggest reason is that Laura Mueller's internship is going to be ending in May, and so it just leaves me to staff these ministries. And so we're just going to try this out through the end of the summer. If you have questions about this decision, just please come talk with me. So let me run through the morning just to give you an outline of what it's going to look like. Scott Boss and I are going to be worshiping in the 9 a.m. contemporary worship service in the new worship center, and at the end we'll come right over to the Weber Street Center. Laura Mueller will be over here at the Weber Street Center at 9:45 to lead a welcome team that will meet and hang out with any families that aren't worshiping at the 9 o'clock hour. This will assure that students are supervised, they're welcomed, and new families can see a welcoming face right as they walk into our doors. We'll give it until 10:15 for students to arrive, check in, grab their donut and get ready. Through this transition and through the summer, though, I want to let you know of another little change. We're not going to do the highs, lows, and coming attractions like we've done them in the beginning. I know this can be a super meaningful time to connect with students. You can learn their prayer requests, learn about things that are going on in their life. So what I would urge you to do is just start talking to kids. You know how when they come in, not all of them are playing air hockey. Some of them start to sit down in their circles where they're going to have their discussion group. So I would encourage you to engage them there. Ask them how their week went. Ask them if there's anything you can pray for. Kind of handle it like the highs and lows, but do it more on a one-on-one basis. Then at 10:15, I'm going to welcome us, and I'm going to give your groups a prompting question for the day. This is supposed to be just a thought-provoking, kind of get the discussion started thing, and it's not going to be more than 2 minutes. So just keep the answers flowing, and don't let one student dominate the entire time. You know how that goes. From there, I'll have a student that will do a brief announcement, we'll pray, and then I will introduce the topic for the day, followed by an activity, or an object lesson, or another quick activity that you're going to do within your group. After this, we'll do the Bible study and teaching time from up front. This is going to be about 10 to 12 minutes, and it will end with your discussion groups just like we do now. Now, your discussion groups are going to be just a little bit shorter as well. You'll have about 15 minutes, and I won't give you quite as many questions, and you'll have to watch the time a little bit, and I really want you to make sure that you get to the final question because it's going to kind of have an action step at the end. I'll then close this with a 1-minute wrap-up and a closing prayer. So you can see everything is almost the same, it's just a little condensed. I'm going to make sure that every week, unless there's a significant reason to go over our time, we're going to end right at 11 a.m. This is going to serve families. It's going to be very predictable for them. They won't feel like they're waiting for their child to get out. And for all the students whose parents don't come right away, they're going to be very excited to hang around, play air hockey, hang out with the leaders, hang out with Scott and I. And so Scott and I are also not going to have to rush out. We can hang out and have a more casual environment because we won't have to be getting to the next service or lock up the building or anything like that. And I really think that's going to be a great time to hang out. So our theme starting on April 2nd is also going to be exciting. We're going to be talking about the foundations of faith. We're going to follow the same theme that we used last spring, you might remember, and we're going to be looking at how God is the one true God. We're going to look at Jesus as the promised Messiah. We're going to look at the role of the Holy Spirit and how the church is super important in a believer's life, followed by talking about baptism and communion and the sacraments. There will be students doing confirmation during this time as well. Now, they'll be taking a more in-depth look as they meet with the leaders. They'll be doing homework, talking about things with parents, meeting with an elder, meeting with a pastor. And so they'll be doing a lot more in-depth study of this, but all of our group will be aligned and tracking on the same path. And even though we've done these topics, I think they're important to go over again and again because they're the foundations of a Christian worldview. Well, thanks for listening. Once again, thank you for pouring into the lives of young people. It's going to be a super exciting season in the life of our church. I'm glad to be doing it with you, and I pray that everything is going well with you.